All right, y'all. Coach Bobby here. Uh, Played college baseball way back in the early 2000s. Was a middle infielder. So we're gonna walk through some simple progression drills that any infielder can do, especially your middle infielders. This is something that um, we worked on. You know, we'd come back from a break, getting ready for a season, ramping up. This is you start with the basics. You could find video of basically any major league infielder doing these types of drills before every single game that they play. So you can use it before every practice. You can use it before every game for your middle infielders. We're actually going to start without the glove, right? And we're going to isolate just the top half of the body. So we're going to take away the bottom. So you have these dots. They're good, just kind of like areas to put to kind of get your kids to put their knees in the right place. But we want knees about shoulder width, maybe a little bit further apart, okay? We're going to drop the glove because we want to practice with our hand first. So what we want to do is have our hand slightly extended in front of us, and we want our fingers down towards the ground, palm facing the ball. When we put our gloves on, it's no different. Fingers down towards the ground, palm facing the ball. The reason we want to do this is so when we come work through the ball, there's something there to stop it. If we keep our fingers flat against the ground, the palm's now flat and the ball could roll up our arm, okay? Also, if you have the opportunity to get one of these paddle gloves, this would be the next progression after your bare hand. We'll get to that before we get to the glove. All right, so we're here. My fingers are down, facing or touching the ground, palm to the ball, and then we're teaching the kids, after they get this setup down, teaching the kids that as the ball comes to them, we're working through the ball, not letting the ball come to us. So we want to stay. You don't want to have a straight arm. You want to have a little bit of a bend in that elbow. But we're going to work through the ball as opposed to bringing it into our body. Okay? So Coach MJ is going to come here. So we're going to start out just in the center. This is a ball that's hit right at us. Okay? She's going to drop the ball, and I'm just going to work through the hop through the ball towards first base, second base, wherever I'm throwing at, okay? So I'm out here, she drops it, and we work through it. Same thing. Through it. And that's okay. As long as the ball's moving away from them, that's what we want, because if we keep it in front of us, we can pick it up and still make the throw. If we let it eat us up, it gets by us, right? So watching it through the ball. Then we can transition over to forehand. No different. We're just working out to our left. Through the ball, through the ball, through the ball. And then we can come over here to our backhand. So this is, again, fingers still pointing down, palm towards the ball, and then we're going to come through the ball, through the ball, work through it. So then from there, now we can work two hands, right? So now, again, still with bare hands, Coach MJ is going to drop the ball, and I'm going to work through the ball with my other hand. So we're out here, okay? Still working through it, but now we're doing that little alligator motion at the end. Right there. And then you can even do this and have them work on their transfer to get their grip. So if she comes back and does it, go here, and now I can be working to get that four-seam grip without looking at it. I can keep looking forward. Okay, so now that we've worked through our bare hand progression, you can have them do about 10 reps each. 10 reps middle, 10 reps forehand, 10 reps backhand, right? So now that we've worked through that, now before we went to a glove, we'd always add the paddles in, right? The reason the paddles are good is, one, it's forcing me to bring my hand with my fingers down towards the ground, and it's also going to force me to keep contact with the ball in the pocket. So when we get our glove, ideally when they're fielding the ball, we want that ball hitting right here on their palm in the pocket, on the palm, as opposed to going down into the pocket where the ball can get lost if they have one of those larger pockets. So this is going to keep us with the ball up in the palm area. This is a kid's size. And if you don't have enough for the whole team, you can just work through one at a time, have them do this. This is only going to be applicable for in the front and the forehand. It's really hard to do a backhand. Now, you can use this as a drill to show them how to work through a ball, and you're just basically batting a ball, but they're not going to be able to actually field it. Now, we're still isolating the top half. We've got our arm out, and now we've got our second hand ready, because they're going to need that to secure this ball against the palm of the paddle. Also, when we're extended, you can see maybe from your angle, I'm slightly bent over at my top half. I'm not standing straight up, and I'm also, another key point to any of these drills when you're on your knees, I'm not sitting back on my heels, right? I want to have active toes is what they say. I want my toes kind of touching the ground behind me, and I'm slightly bent at the waist over, my chest is over top of my elbow. So now coach is she's gonna roll a ball, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Fingers down, palm to the ball, work through it with that second throwing hand. Okay. And as they become more advanced, you can start to work in multiple hops or short hops. But right now, we want them just getting used to 2 hands. And you notice when I get out here, I'm extending through it and bringing it up. I'm not bringing it into my body, right? If we get here and I start to bring it into my body, that's when we start to lose the ability to get it. So staying through the baseball is important. Okay. Now we're going to get a side profile of the stationary hand drills from a kneeling position. So again, active toes is what I've always called it, but that just means they're up on their toes here, their feet aren't flat, and they're not sitting down on their heels like this, okay? Active toes, we're up on top, and I'm slightly bent over here at the waist, so when I'm extended down, you can see my chest is right over here over my elbow. It's not back over here over my backside. It's up over my elbow, and then we can work through the ball this way. So as the ball is coming now with the glove, again, working through the ball and then up to my transition to throw. And then the same thing now if we're going from glove side. So we've gone from the center, now we're going to go glove side. See how I work through the baseball. My fingers are down on the ground and I'm working through it. Again, we want to work through it as opposed to bringing it, because if we bring it back here and our target's over there, now we have a whole lot of extra work with our feet. So we're going to stay out here through the ball. And then from backhand, it's no different. We're just putting our fingers on the ball, our fingers on the ground, and working through the ball towards our throwing target. So I always like to, for backhand, I always like to have them start with the fingers of the glove on the ground. Don't have it up here or here. Have it on the ground, and you're kind of just brushing the grass as you're coming through. And that is your progression from barehand to a paddle if you have it, to glove. I would do from your knees. And I would do each one of those, I would do 10 center, 10 glove, 10 back.